Hi, this is Juliana Kenny here at IT Expo East 2012 in Miami. I'm joined by Amir Makleff, President and CEO of BridgeWave Communications. Thanks for joining me here today.
You're welcome.
So tell me, what is new from BridgeWave that you guys have brought to the show?
What we have here at the show is some new products that are focused on the small cell market. It's a product called Pico Hall,
Okay.
and it's particularly targeted at carriers that are going to launch LTE and are going to start thinking about putting small cells on light poles. So it's a very physically small, environmentally friendly type of product that fits in urban area.
Okay. Now, is that something that you have already rolled out, or is it coming in 2012?
We launched it in 2011. We have done some trials with it. We're doing some more trials with big carriers. It's not something that is happening in the market yet. So we expect that small cells will actually be deployed in 2013 or maybe later this year. But it's a product that is totally unique in terms of how it blends with the environment, and we're kind of educating carriers on what it can do for them as carriers are studying the different options to deal with the pico cells or small cells.
Okay. So what kind of reactions have you had from the trials that you ran last year?
So first of all, when we show people what we can do with this product, which is basically deliver a gigabit up to half a mile, they kind of don't believe it. So most of the initial tests and the field trials are actually show me that it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proving.
Yes, and now the next question is, now we're getting into questions about, okay, how do I do practical deployments? What happens when you have winds? What costs and things like that. So we're getting now into the more practical implementation issues as people are realizing this solution actually is for real, and thinking about how to use it down the road. So this is a bit of an education process of the carriers that are thinking about, they're learning what they can do with it, and starting to think more practically how it would roll out down the road. So this is what we're doing relative to the small cells. The other thing that happened in 2011 that is interesting is we started to deploy with the tier one carriers in Eastern Europe. I cannot name names because we're doing it with other partners, but these are some of the biggest carriers in the world that are actually deploying our 80 gig technology and into networks that are moving towards LTE. And this is further validation of what we're doing in the high frequencies.
That's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what, if there are any particular market trends that maybe you've watched over the years or anticipate that led to this new product release?
Yes. So first of all, we focus on very high capacity backhaul, and very high capacity backhaul tends to be driven by people moving to 4G. So the first thing that is happening is people are moving to 4G, and we see more and more of that. We think that in 2012 there will be something interesting that will drive this further. When LTE iPhone becomes available, we think this is going to be a major demand of bandwidth point, where you'll see a lot of carriers suddenly saying, well, wait a minute, my network is now suddenly overloaded.
Yeah.
And so all the products that we have and are launching are focused on how to give them more capacity on the backhaul, which I think is going to be needed when they realize that the iPhone is messing up their network.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
You're welcome. Okay.
Once again, this is Amir Makleff from BridgeWave Communications.